I also think that he is shrewd when it comes to politics. I don't like the optics of going down to Mar-a-Lago and kissing the ring.
John Fetterman became the first Democratic senator to head down to Mar-a-Lago. Here's what he said Thursday ahead of his trip.
What do you plan on talking about with your president?
Well, yeah, I'm asking to be named the Pope of Greenland.
Do you have a specific
No, I'm just having a comment. I mean, like...
John Fetterman, U.S. Democrat senator, has filed a lawsuit against The View's Sonny Hostin due to the escalation of what started off as misplaced criticism of the senator's visit to the just-inaugurated U.S. president's private residence at Mar-a-Lago.
The senator for Democrats in Pennsylvania, I'm the senator for everyone in Pennsylvania, and my state picked Donald Trump as president, and if I have the opportunity to have that conversation, and I bet we're going to find things to work together for a better Pennsylvania and a better nation, and that's why I'm engaging in this.
He's taking a lot of heat, apparently, for taking the trip, but do you think his reasons are sound?
It's the most common sense answer I've ever heard. Like, he's a senator to an entire state, and his state happened to turn for Donald Trump, so more than half of that state voted for the person that's becoming president. You're a senator heading into 13 hearings of confirmation he's making. Yeah. Your job on paper is to advise and consent. That's all we ask.
John Fetterman is no stranger to American politics and the controversies that comes with it. The junior United States Senator for Pennsylvania is a name that has been making waves in American politics. Born on August 15, 1969, in Reading, Pennsylvania, Fetterman's unconventional rise to the Senate has been marked by his unwavering commitment to progressive values and his unapologetic style. This is the more reason his welcoming approach to the Republican president Donald Trump sparked a lot of controversy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say right now. My goodness.
Fetterman's early life was marked by tragedy when he lost his father at a young age. He was raised by his mother, who instilled in him a strong sense of social justice. After graduating from Albright College, Fetterman earned a master's degree in public policy from Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. His struggles in life played a huge role in Fetterman's stance against injustice, and what else considered unfounded bullying. It's no shock that he went all out to file a lawsuit against Sonny Hostin when it looked like she was bent on tarnishing his name and reputation.
I believe in second chances. Some people are very deserving of a second chance and get a pardon, and there's some that I don't agree that do that. So I don't agree with them, and many of them that I didn't agree with the president as well too.
Yeah, what is your response to that? Because I know at one point you had suggested that you thought that it would be a good idea for President Biden to pardon President-elect Trump with regard to the hush money case.
What I'm saying though, that pardons I can agree with, some that I don't, and I think that's really what it comes down to.
You obviously co-sponsored the Laken Riley Act, which was passed late yesterday. Some Democrats have said that they're unhappy with it, including Senator Kaine, who said that it's bad policy. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, they're entitled to their opinions and their views, and I believe, as someone that's very, very pro-immigration, as I have been consistently, that we can be very pro-immigration.
Fetterman's entry into politics was unconventional, to say the least. In 2005, he was elected as the mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania, a small town in the Pittsburgh suburbs. During his tenure as mayor, Fetterman worked tirelessly to revitalize the town, attracting new businesses and investments while also advocating for social justice causes. He had his eyes set on bigger goals, but the fact of the matter was that his dreams weren't going to come easy. In 2016, Fetterman ran for the United States Senate, but lost in the Democratic primary. Undeterred, he continued to build his profile as a progressive champion, advocating for issues such as universal healthcare, climate action, and racial justice.
And we had our slogan. It's on every one of those signs right now. Every county, every vote. Every county, every vote. And that's exactly what happened. We jammed them up. We held the line. I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue. But we did what we needed to do, and we had that conversation across every one of those counties.
In 2022, Fetterman ran again for the Senate, this time winning the Democratic primary, and going on to defeat his Republican opponent in the general election. His victory was seen as a major upset, and he became the first Democrat to win a Senate seat in Pennsylvania since 1962. As a senator, Fetterman has continued to be an outspoken advocate for progressive causes. He has been a vocal critic of the fossil fuel industry and has advocated for bold action to address the climate crisis. He has also been a strong supporter of labor unions and has advocated for policies to protect workers' rights. Fetterman's unapologetic style and commitment to progressive values have made him a hero to many on the left. However, his unconventional approach to politics has also drawn criticism from some who see him as too radical or unpolished.
In these divided times in Washington, we wanted to hear from a senator who has pledged to work across the aisle. Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was the first sitting Democrat to head to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump. What was that meeting like, and what are his thoughts on the flurry of early actions? We were with him on Capitol Hill today, talking with him. And a note, to better hear us, the senator used his phone to help caption the questions that we asked him. Busy day, first day for President Trump. I'd like to start with the pardons for the January 6th rioters. Of course, he's had sweeping pardons for roughly 1,500 of them, including some who committed violent acts against police officers. Your reaction to those pardons as far as the message that it might send?
Yeah, there were a lot of those pardons that day that I don't agree with, any more than some of the pardons that President Biden dropped that I didn't agree with those as well too. I actually agreed on a lot of the pardons that I've signed on.
Despite the criticism, Fetterman remains a popular figure in Pennsylvania and a rising star in the Democratic Party. His commitment to social justice and his willingness to challenge the status quo have inspired a new generation of progressive activists and politicians. As Fetterman continues to make his mark in the Senate, according to Fetterman, his job has always been to represent the people in his constituency, especially now when more than half the voting population voted for the party opposite. Fetterman has exemplified what it means to truly represent democracy, as his visit to Donald Trump shows just how willing he is to do the will of the people. But this sadly did not go down well with the likes of Sonny Hostin and rest of the View, who see Donald Trump as nothing more but an enemy.
For John Fetterman, who is a friend of the show, we've interviewed him many times. He's one of the most, he's brilliant, and I also think that he is shrewd when it comes to politics. I don't like the optics of going down to Mar-a-Lago and kissing the ring.
According to Sonny Hostin, Fetterman was doing the wrong thing for going over to Donald Trump in the way he did. She described Fetterman's actions as kissing the ring and made so to express just how much dislikes any form of friendliness by a Democrat politician to Donald Trump.
He should have been in Washington already because he should have been transitioning with his team, but he has refused to sign the GSA agreement.
The main bone of contention for Sonny Hostin against John Fetterman is his public newfound support for Donald Trump. Hostin has for years been quite vocal about her thoughts on Donald Trump. When Trump won the presidential election in 2016, Hostin was visibly shaken and shared her immediate reaction on the show. She expressed her concerns about Trump's presidency, citing his divisive rhetoric and policies that she believed would harm marginalized communities. Hostin has consistently been critical of Trump's actions and policies, often calling out his behavior as unacceptable and unbecoming of a president. She has also been a strong advocate for social justice and human rights, frequently speaking out against Trump's policies on issues like immigration, healthcare, and racial justice. One of the key areas where Hostin has disagreed with Trump is on his handling of racial issues. She has been outspoken about Trump's response to white supremacist violence, his attacks on African-American politicians and celebrities, and his overall lack of empathy and understanding for the experiences of people of color.
Maybe I got too cerebral about it, maybe I was too in my head about it, but I just started thinking, my goodness, someone who has a Justice Department settlement because his father and Trump himself would not rent to black people. Someone who did all this stuff with the Central Park Five, and called for their execution and continued to do so even when they were exonerated. And the things he said about Haitians eating the pets and the dogs and the cats. And black jobs and
and
black
dismantling
friend.
DEI on with an executive order on that day.
And dismantling DEI.
Hostin has also criticized Trump's policies on women's rights and healthcare, arguing that they are designed to undermine the progress made by women and other marginalized groups. She has been a strong supporter of the Me Too movement, has used her platform to amplify the voices of women who have been impacted by Trump's policies. Despite her strong criticisms of Trump, Hostin has also emphasized the importance of holding him accountable through democratic democratic means. She has encouraged her viewers to get involved in the political process, to vote, and to demand more from their elected officials. Overall, Sunny Hostin's take on Donald Trump is one of fierce criticism and opposition. She has been a consistent voice of dissent against his policies and actions, and has used her platform to amplify the voices of those who have been impacted by his presidency.
Especially, it just struck me as so unjust. I know. That's all that I kept on thinking about.
Yeah. I know we also talked on the show today about how people like Snoop Dogg and Nelly performed at the inauguration parties, and I guess they technically were. I think Snoop was at a crypto event before, but it was a Trump-centered event.
It was.
It was a little surprising. What did you...
Look, I like him.
Yeah, I like Snoop too.
He's a friend to the show. I like him personally. He's my birthday twin. We were both born on October 20th.
That's a sacred bond.
I remember when he came here. He's been here a couple times, but he invited me into his dressing room. Nice guy. I wouldn't have felt this way if he had not spoken up in 2017.
Sunny's attempt at labeling John Fetterman as a black sheep among Democrats has ultimately backfired, as she now has to deal with a wave of lawsuit not limited to Fetterman's own clap back against Sunny Hostin of recent The View host, has had to deal with a lot of controversy against her family. The charges against Dr. Hostin are rooted in the RICO Act, legislation initially designed to combat organized crime. This law is now being used to tackle alleged fraud within the healthcare system.
Yeah, I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days.
Yeah, is that annoying?
No.
No?
No. I mean, it's just when I was on there, I really had no idea how it was going to land with the audience. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know.
According to the lawsuit, Dr. Hostin and his associates orchestrated a scheme to exploit insurance companies. The allegations include performing unnecessary surgeries and billing for procedures that may never have occurred. These actions reportedly targeted insurance providers, particularly those covering taxi, Uber, and Lyft drivers. This case isn't just a legal battle, it's a broader commentary on the vulnerabilities of the healthcare and insurance systems. Both industries are under scrutiny, with critics questioning how such practices could go unchecked for so long.
I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
And at the same time, it seemed like the most interesting part was their audience seemed to be on my side.
Yes.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So, because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when the show gets really, really popular, you know, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
One of the most striking aspects of this scandal is Sunny Hostin's silence. Typically vocal about controversial issues, her lack of response has sparked speculation. Is she distancing herself to protect her reputation? Or is she strategically waiting for legal counsel before speaking out? Fans and detractors alike have noticed the shift. Many expected her to address the situation directly on The View, but so far there's been nothing but crickets. This silence has only fueled rumors, with some suggesting she's more involved than she lets on.
So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way. And I responded to it in the moment, as I do. And I didn't expect it to go as viral as it did, but...
The lawsuit claims that Dr. Hostin was part of a network receiving financial incentives for recommending or performing unnecessary arthroscopic surgeries. While these minimally invasive procedures are typically routine, the allegations suggest many were not medically necessary. Imagine trusting a doctor to prioritize your health, only to discover you were part of a financial scheme. For patients, this betrayal cuts deep, leaving lasting scars, both physical and emotional.
After last week, we learned that Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history. And they're seeking $450 million And Sunny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case, and they're claiming that this is completely baseless. They're naming lawsuits that American Transit has been involved in, and they're essentially saying that it's a money grab. And they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million plus, if they don't withdraw the suit and if they don't issue a public apology.
This case isn't just about one man or one family. It's a reflection of systemic issues within the healthcare industry. The allegations expose a flawed system where profit often takes precedence over patient care. Insurance companies, too, are under fire. While they accuse Dr. Hostin and others of fraud, they face their own criticism for denying claims and underpaying doctors. This tangled web of accusations highlights the complex dynamics at play.
The View, just a person, the Sunny Hostin that we all love from one of my favorite shows on The View. And it's always, Tom, what'd you always say? It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like
Dr. Hostin's legal team has fiercely denied the allegations, calling the lawsuit a desperate move by a struggling insurance company. They've painted the plaintiff, American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, as the real villain, accusing them of trying to recoup losses through baseless accusations. This courtroom drama is far from over, with both sides gearing up for an intense legal battle. The stakes are high, and the outcome could have far-reaching implications for the healthcare industry.
So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks. Here's a clip I want you guys to see of Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme. Play the clip, Rob.
Wait, hold on. Let Sunny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system.
The charges against Dr. Emmanuel Hostin are not just an isolated incident. They raise larger concerns about systemic issues in healthcare. Allegations of insurance fraud and unnecessary procedures point to deeper flaws within the medical system. This case brings to light the potential for exploitation where profit motives overshadow patient care. It also highlights the vulnerabilities in insurance protocols, which can be manipulated by those in powerful positions. This trial is not just about the guilt or innocence of one individual, but also serves as a reflection of a broader need for accountability and reform in healthcare practices. The wave of controversy has continued to mount up on The View and ABC News media, with lots of viewers calling for the removal of Sunny Hostin. It's obvious that the numerous scandals and lawsuits has done a lot to completely tarnish the name of the once revered TV personality, but with more people adding their voice to the call for her cancellation, it would seem that her woes are far from over. John Fetterman's surprising turn against her has led a lot of people to ask questions about the true unity of the Democratic Party. Can there really be said to be any unity amongst the party, or is the whole idea of a unified group with similar ideas a whole sham? Sunny Hostin's case is one that shed light on this area of discourse in American politics.
To harass the family and launch a public smear campaign. And Sunny actually doubled down after we saw a letter that Mark Garagos sent to American Transit and their lawyers. Sunny, she issued her own statement, doubling down, saying, "Leave my family alone."
So I know you said that they hired Mark Garagos as their new lawyer. Do you think he has exactly what it takes to clear their name?
Ask her, listen, Mark Garagos has worked on some of the most famous cases we've seen. He's used to this kind of high-profile lawsuit.
Amidst the waves of intense controversy, John Fetterman's lawsuit only seems to add a fuel to the heat burning against Sunny Hostin, which could possibly get her ejected and canceled out of The View for good. For many, this is a welcome development, especially for MAGA supporters who have endured years of criticism from Sunny Hostin against Donald Trump and the Republican Party. In their view, Sunny and her husband deserves everything they are going through now because of the stark hypocrisy displayed by her and the rest of The View, targeting and giving labels to lots of personalities, when in fact they practiced even worse fraudulent activities within closed walls. Sunny Hostin's exposure and cancellation is a stark reminder that no one is truly untouchable. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and stay updated on more videos covering this story. Thanks for watching.